Hello and welcome to another episode of the FPL Hangover Podcast, where we raise the bar and lower the tone. All things FPL related. We are coming to you on the 24th of October. Gameweek 9 is all said and done, and it's been a green arrow week all around. I'm taking a real stab in the dark there, but here to help me digest Gameweek 9, look ahead to Gameweek 10, and do the usual absolute nonsense. My podcast partner in crime, Paddy. How are you getting on, my friend?
I'm getting on great. I would like to say hello to everyone who is listening and to the millions and millions watching on YouTube. Good morning to the people who are listening to this on their way to in their morning commute. I hope you're having a wonderful hump day. And to the guys that are watching it this evening, you definitely don't have a life because there is fucking Champions League football on, and we are going to bang this pod out so we can watch the mighty Manchester Reds smash Copenhagen. Højlund is ready to go. I have him in my UEFA fantasy team. I'm waffling on here, but I don't care, Ger, because he's going to kill them because he's Danish. It's a Scandinavian fixture. He knows the ground.
You're right. I'm
pumped.
You were waffling on. But I like it. You kick into promo hype man mode, and I can't help but stand back and watch.
Yes.
I took a bit of a leap in the intro, and I assumed you got a green arrow too. Was I right?
Of course I did.
Okay, so game week 9 was all smiles.
Oh well, you see, there you are, gaslighting me again, because it didn't come without its little bumps in the road. Like you know that there's things that I did that I kind of regret a wee bit.
Well,
that you made me do.
See, you started this.
Me and you've been falling out this last while on this pod.
I guess me passing you out this week didn't make matters better there, then, did it?
See, I didn't know that.
Of course, because you're not tuned in. You're not tuned in, Paddy.
Look what you've done to me, like.
You've lost all sense of balance. But no, a green arrow is a green arrow. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. You're right, and I'm happy enough. But I mean, I want so much more. I deserve more.
There's 28 more fucking game weeks, man.
No, but I was 180k in game week 2. I brought in Sterling before everyone.
You did. You had the whole world in your hands at one stage.
Our WhatsApp background screen is my Sterling points from that day. Did you ever notice that?
No, I didn't.
I made it like that. That day it happened, and it's just a reminder of how great I once was at this game.
I think you're being too harsh on yourself, Paddy. Agree. You got a green arrow. We're both back in the running. We're heading towards Redemption City.
Okay, yeah.
And hopefully we manage to achieve it. Tell me, how did you end up actually getting on in the game week?
I will indeed. This is how it went. 77 points, 10 points above the average. I had a couple of epiphanies. I decided that I wasn't going to start Cash, and I benched him, and I went with the double Newcastle defenders. So Byrne got me 6, and Trippier got me 10. Then we had the pain of last night, the horror of the Udogie 55 minutes substitution. That fucking wrecked lots of lads. I mean, I had voice messages from friends that fell out with their wives over that because they were shouting blasphemous things at the telly. They're like, fuck! And they were like, what's going on with you? And he was like, fantasy football. What do you think? She's like, fantasy football's doing that to you. You need to get your head checked. But they don't understand, do they, Ger?
Do you know?
They don't.
I'm just looking at the video here, and especially while you're going on with that rant. So to anyone watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. But you look like a priest because your white zip against your black hoodie just looks like a Roman collar, because you cut out right at the neck.
Well, I am here preaching.
You are?
I'm preaching to the masses, Ger. So you know what? Call me the priest. So like Udogie. Like, I mean, do you have Udogie?
I do. Yep, I do.
What's its name?
You're not even drinking tonight, I don't think, are you?
I know. It's the drugs. But anyway, right. So yeah. Anyway, the pain of that was fucking horrible, horrendous. Anyway, we'll move on to the midfield. Turner 1-pointer. No good. The midfield. Now, bearing in mind that we had to wait the excruciating time to Monday to get the full value of our teams. So I'm going to go there last. Haaland, captain, 16 points. Højlund, he was my last minute transfer. You know, being a team leaker like myself, I got the news that Nunes wasn't going to start. So I thought, you know what? I'll just put him out and bring in Højlund. I kind of was flirting with Højlund, wasn't I, with you last week on the pod?
You said it. You said it on the Tuesday.
Yeah, unlike FPL family, I go, you know, I go through with things. Do you know what I mean?
You're open and honest.
Yeah, I'm transparent. And then I had Watkins 11 points. Højlund didn't come off, by the way.
No,
he had a couple of chances, and Nunes, the little prick, came off the fucking bench, and he got an assist.
Yeah.
For that other prick I don't have, Salah.
It was a crazy move.
But,
it was a silly move.
Do you know what, though? Remember, I didn't take Salah because I was going to cover Salah points with Nunes and Diaz.
Mm-hmm.
That worked. Sort of.
How?
Well, if I had kept Nunes,
yeah,
I would have kind of covered Salah a bit.
Oh, so if you had kept Nunes,
Yeah,
you would have...
like,
him and Louise's 6 points would have got you 10 versus Salah's 16, is it?
Yeah, the mind was in the right place.
No.
They both returned.
No, it wasn't.
You know what I mean? Anyway, so Højlund didn't work out, but Watkins being a beast again. Haaland got me 16, captained him. Then Monday, everything was on Monday. We've already discussed the Udogie. Then Madison and Son just like wanking each other off, reach around.
Tearing teams apart.
Reach around points. He gave him one. He gave him one. Everyone was happy. I was going to captain Son, but you talked me out of it last week.
I don't believe you.
You planted the seeds.
What seeds?
Of doubt.
Yeah, and
I had captaincy on Son, and then by the end of the pod, you had fucking creeped inside me like
a thief in the night.
Like Venom. I'm playing the new Spider-Man 2 game. Like, what, a symbiote?
Yeah.
And you took over my fucking body, and you made me Captain Haaland.
Oh.
See, you've cost me about 300 points this season. I'd be winning the whole thing. Anyway, that's how I went. And why didn't I just go ahead and captain Son playing Fulham?
Because Haaland was at home to Brighton.
Yeah, but fucking Fulham are shite.
Yeah, well, Brighton haven't been pulling up fucking daisies.
See, when we get to the next section, where we're picking the captains and all,
yeah,
don't you fucking speak to me.
I won't.
Because I'm doing my own thing. Right, anyway, how did you get on, Ger?
A better new motherfucker.
Yeah, well, let's hear how better you did then.
86 points, solid score.
Oh my god.
86.
Did you captain Salah?
Nope, I didn't.
Sheep.
Sheep. Well, again, I'm as transparent as you.
Imagine
Paddy.
what you could have had.
Well, I don't live in hypotheticals. I live in the real world. You know, the real world of fantasy
you live in
football.
The real world. Real world.
But so you didn't talk about your man, who, to be fair, like if you talk about covering Salah, I think you're skipping the man who's actually maybe making an argument for you, and that's Kieran Trippier with his 10-point haul. Because if you do mix him with Diaz, which is essentially the exchange you made, you did get your 16 points. You know, a player more, albeit, but like, yeah. So there is that to consider. And I don't have Trippier, so like missing out on those 10, it seemed like it's just one of those weeks where everyone seemed to have a little bit of everything. The Gameweek 8 wildcarders, they were laughing, especially after last night's fixtures. The non-wildcarders, they were laughing because you had the likes of Mbuemo delivering this week.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And then you had, you know, the likes who went with Salah laughing, the ones who went without Salah laughing, because everyone was just doing bits and bobs. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No, 100%. No, you're right on it. Like, you're on the money.
So I did have the wild card game week 8 classic Salah, Madison, and Son. So obviously all of them came good. I'm delighted with that. My two midfield punts, Gordon and Prowse. Prowse doing nothing, but Gordon then he's made you look like a fool, really, Paddy.
Yeah, I had Almiron, 1 pointer.
You paid $1 million more for him as well.
Jesus
Do you know
Christ.
what I mean? So that's that's the amateur shit I'm dealing with on this side. And you were talking a big game last week, Almiron versus Gordon. And
I was. No, you're right. You've reminded me. I fucked it. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. But just learn from mistakes. Mistakes come back better.
I did talk it up there. Now I remember saying Almiron versus Gordon. I built that up.
I know.
Me versus you.
And now everyone wants a slice of that Gordon pie. But that's something we'll get onto later. I did cap Haaland, and I also had Watkins, who, just to brag, I had since the start. So F you, Paddy.
Yeah, well,
and
you
your
know what?
workload.
If you have Watkins from the start, you have to brag.
I think so. I think there's
Yeah.
been very little to brag about in this season so
There's
far.
poor
For me.
bastards that got rid of Watkins because he only assisted every game for 5 game weeks, and then they got rid of him, and he fucking went bananas.
Yeah,
Like,
I think he blanked him.
you know, do you have any sympathy for those managers? Just out of curiosity,
The ones that got rid of Watkins.
you know, the ones that were like, you know, oh, he's not doing anything, even though he was tapping away. But.
I don't know. I mean, like, sympathy is a loaded word because you know at the end of the day, I want to win, so I don't really care about when people make mistakes, and I feel like that was a silly mistake to make. You know, like if you have an asset that's constantly delivering every week, which he was doing, maybe not to the heights that people were hoping for, I don't think you should ever really be worried about getting rid of him, and that'll bring us on to like the big question this week is, do you make a play for Saka? You know, so you're sitting there with two Spurs midfielders, Madison, Son, same as myself, and the big question is at home to Sheffield United. Assuming all goes well in the Champions League, everything is caveated with, you know, assuming the landscape doesn't change between now and Friday. Everything like will be pointed towards Arsenal's home fixture against, you know, the worst team in the league.
Yeah, but are they the worst team in the league? Like, didn't City only beat them 2-1?
I don't know. I don't care. They are the worst team in the league, I think. Yeah. I mean, obviously there's only a handful of teams to pick from. Everton would run them close. You know, maybe Burnley are looking pretty weak, even though I don't know if I've seen enough of them. But I think they are the worst team in the league. I think statistically, for sure.
Oh, okay, so are they bottom of the league?
Oh, yeah.
Well, then they are the worst team in the league.
Yeah.
So another thing, is this now the start of the fixture swing again for Arsenal? Is this where they start to get nice? Yeah, because I have no Arsenal players in my team.
Well, neither do I, and I
mean, I am starting to get worried. Like, how do I get them in there? Do you have 2 frees?
I have 2 frees. Do you?
You see, you're a wank. I have none. I blew one last week on Hoyland.
So just for the benefit of the audio listeners, Arsenal's next couple of fixtures are Sheffield United game week 10, then obviously an away fixture to Newcastle, which is their toughest for a while because they'll be following that up with a home match at Burnley, away to Brentford, home to Wolves, and away to Luton. So you've basically got Luton, Burnley, and Sheffield United all in the next 6. And then Brentford and Wolves in between that, so not the worst.
No, so here's kind of where us people with no 2 frees are compared to you. So you can actually... You're like in a great position, obviously, with 2 frees. You could bring in an Arsenal asset right now, get the benefits and the joy of the Sheffield United game, and then, you know, whatever happens in Newcastle happens. But you're happy, you're loaded, you've got the gun loaded. Me, on the other hand, is I'm like, fuck. I probably am going to... My best bet is maybe to hang on to the free transfer and not bother bringing him in for the Newcastle, and then have him for the next 4 fixtures.
Yeah, I think...
But I feel like I'm missing out on a potential haul.
Yeah, I think I disagree with you on the sense that me having the extra transfer is a big advantage, because for people in similar positions with the likes of a Son and Maddison, or even just a Son or something like that, that's kind of where your price point is for Saka. So I know I have 2 transfers, but I can't really turn someone that isn't Maddison or Son into a Saka, because you're looking at the likes of a Gordon or a Ward-Prowse. Do you know, because I've Salah sitting there. Now, that's probably a little bit different for yourself, but the main question this week, and how we kind of led into this, is are you going to be willing to sacrifice a Spurs asset, which you can do in 1 move? Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't matter you don't have 2 transfers.
Yes, but you see, the fixtures for Spurs now are Palace, Chelsea, Wolves, Villa and City. So, I mean, I would like to have them for that Palace game.
Yeah, that's this week, which I'm
so do you know what? I don't mind actually keeping the double Spurs and sacrificing the Arsenal asset, because it seems to be like they're 2 good fixtures for both teams.
Yeah, they are. I mean, I think the Spurs one will be a bit more difficult than Arsenal's for sure, but it's all about the fixtures that they roll into then, because as I said, Arsenal away to Newcastle, that'll be one of their tougher fixtures this season, especially if Newcastle keep, you know, this run of form up. And Spurs at home to Chelsea. Now, again, Chelsea aren't pulling up trees, and Chelsea, you know, they're 2 good fixtures, but I think the Spurs one will be a bit more difficult than Arsenal's for sure, but it's all about the fixtures that they roll into then, because as I said, Arsenal away to Newcastle, that'll be one of their tougher fixtures this season, especially if Newcastle keep, you know, this run of form up. And Spurs at home to Chelsea. Now, again, Chelsea aren't pulling up trees, Spurs are, pretty good at home. So I'm not as afraid of that one as I would be about, we'll say, the Arsenal away to Newcastle. But at the end of the day, it's not like you can jump off Spurs in game week 11 just because they're at home to Chelsea and jump on Arsenal because Arsenal are away to Newcastle. So you're not going to want to do that either.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. How much is Saka again?
8.5.
And what is Odegaard?
He's in and around the same 8 points. He started the season at 8.5. So unless there's
right.
Yeah. I mean, there is the back door, which I know you love so much, Paddy.
Martinelli.
Yeah, Martinelly.
But fuck you.
I didn't think you'd take such an offence to it.
I didn't. I don't mind backdoors.
My apologies. But
ask Tanya.
I won't. I won't. As I said, she already doesn't like me. But she hates me. She hates me. I'm just that hairy Egypt from down south. I've heard her.
No, you're not. I'll call her in here now and I'll fucking make her
live.
I'll tell you.
She likes me, yeah. I'm going to gun to her head. That's exactly how we express our feelings here at the Hangover. But getting back to FPL, the real issue is, Paddy, are you going to have the balls to drop either Son or Madison at any stage? Especially after you just talked up last night.
Yeah, well, I mean, I need to get an Arsenal asset in here. So, I mean, isn't it not better to not have all your eggs in one basket and, have a little sprinkle of everything? So, yeah, I have no problem maybe dropping one of my Spurs assets. And that asset would probably have to be Son because Madison is 8.1.
Yeah.
And I don't think I have... I do. I've got 1.9 million in the bank. Almiron could go maybe to Martinelli. I don't know. I could definitely.
That's not a terrible shout, but
I can move Almiron. Almiron's if I sell Almiron, I get 8.2 million. So
you could get a
Martinelli 7.7. So and that would be a little differential. And I still have my double Spurs. I have a wee Luis Diaz sprinkle in there.
But if you take yourself out of it and think about the fucking millions of people listening to the show right now
that are playing the game, yeah.
That don't have some kind of Frankenstein team like you.
Oh my god, I'm going to smash this whole room.
Can you really justify jumping off of a Son or a Madison?
No, you can't justify it. But, I mean, that's life. You can't justify a lot of things in fucking life, Ger. Can you justify going for a fucking pint at 12 o'clock in the day on a school night?
You can't.
No.
12 o'clock in the day on a school night doesn't make sense. It's a complete contradiction.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean then. So, you have to have a bit of Arsenal. I mean, what do you think? You need to get a bit of Arsenal in there. And I think if I was to sacrifice one of them, I'd probably sacrifice Son.
Why Son? The man who just got a 14 point. So he's got, 6 goals in 6 matches up front.
The only reason I'd sacrifice him is because he's more expensive. And I think Madison is going to tick away nicely.
Yeah, I did.
And you've got like maybe Richarlison now coming back in that might be pushed up front again, and Son could be back. That's the only reason. Like Madison's definitely going to be in there creating all day long.
Yeah, well, I think that's kind of the crux of it, isn't it? It's like Son has that massive ceiling, and he's obviously he's playing up front, and then Madison is all over the set plays, and I do think we'll keep taking it along. But it's just a question of whether because my plan when I wildcarded, and I'm assuming it was similar for anyone who's got double Spurs right now, is that when we wanted to get Saka back, we would transfer out one of the Spurs assets.
That was the original plan. Yeah, we were only we were only gonna.
Now Spurs have the possibility to go 5 points clear on Friday evening. And have the best attacking stats. I think they have the best attacking stats in the league.
Yeah, and taking and of course what you're saying, the consideration now, those guys are on a buzz. They're top of the league now, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, they're top of the league. They're
They've no Champions League. They've no Champions League.
Buzzing, all to go for.
No Carabao.
Stevie G, we do not let this slip. Shit going on in the change rooms. Them guys are up for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're not thinking as far ahead as that, but
No, I know, but I was just using that as that's the buzz. Yeah, of course, and I take Liverpool. But then again, remember who Spurs are, and yeah, I'm going to insult all the Tottenham listeners. They are bottlers.
He's used it, the B word.
Come at me, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they have anything to bottle right now, which is why I don't worry about it. Maybe if this was towards the end of the season, I'd be thinking differently.
In fairness, Arsenal are more bottlers than Spurs these days.
Yeah, exactly. I thought they were the bottlers of
Fuck,
North
sorry.
London or whatever.
Fuck.
But
It's a lot of listeners gone.
in terms of I know, I can already hear them. If you do want to just subscribe and give us a rating before you go, that would be much appreciated.
We've got prizes to win.
We do, and we will get to the mini-league, and we will get to next week. I'm still reeling on your use of the B word there, but yeah, I don't know. I think if you were to ask me whether or not you should come off a double Spurs asset, or come from a Son to Saka, like assuming you had the likes of a Madison, I think I'm leaning right now towards no.
Yeah, well, that's where I am at the minute. I'm leaning a no because I'm going to ride out this fixture. And there's another possibility that I might just do the hokey cokey on Højlund. I've just brought Højlund in.
You're going to go Højlund to Nunes next week?
No, maybe not to Nunes, but I might just...
That's the hokey cokey.
Well, yeah, that's the hokey cokey, but I mean, not specifically with players that just left. I mean, he's in, he's out, just Højlund. I know it's Man City. It could be a fixture too where a star is born. You know, that kind of... You know, he gets his goal.
I think that's a fucking act of madness.
To get rid of him again so quick?
Well, I'm looking at his United's fixtures, and I'm tempted to go to Bruno, drop to 8.3. I think I could maybe stretch him.
And he's actually dropped in price, hasn't he?
Yeah, 8.3. So,
all right, okay.
If you look at United's after the City match this week, away to Fulham, that's not the worst. Home to Luton, I mean that's I think something to target if you already have the assets in your team.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just this is where I get me flirting with ideas out. So I'll probably I'll probably will hold him, and I need the 2 transfers because then if Spursy go Spursy, I mightn't have no problem. After 2 game weeks coming up, I might have no problem dropping Son to fucking Saka, who's just belted in an assist and a goal in his last 2 games where Son's been quiet. So. Yeah,
well, obviously, in 2 weeks' time, you could have a different view on it. But the question is just whether you do it this week.
Do it now?
Yeah, I mean, because of that Sheffield United.
You want to know the answer? Do you want to know the answer?
I think you're never going to do it.
I'm not doing it. I'm not fucking doing it. The Spurs boys are staying.
They're staying. You've drawn.
The Spurs boys are staying. I don't want an Arsenal player in for that Sheffield game because I don't want an Arsenal player for the Newcastle game.
Even though you could turn Almer on to Martinelli.
Oh yeah, I'd probably do that. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I'm probably doing that. That's probably my move.
You are a fucking spacer. An absolute space cadet.
But that's my move.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I'd keep an eye on obviously the Champions League and just make sure that all the minutes where they need to be. But
I'm just going to do that. I mean, I know I'm going to do it right now.
Yeah. Tippy tappy. Why don't you do what you do? Fucking pervert sunglasses that you got.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I will.
He's got the recording, the new, what's it, Meta skyscrapers?
Meta sunglasses. Look, this is for the YouTubers. The millions. They're getting an exclusive. Look at these bad boys. I've already put a wee clip of them on the YouTube.
Yeah. So for the
oh shit! All the noise comes through whenever you put them on, so I'll just put them away again.
For all the audio listeners, he just tried on the sunglasses, and I'll give you credit, Paddy. They don't look bad. They don't look as wacky. Imagine what they would have looked like fucking
back in the day.
10 years ago, man. Just imagine 10 years ago.
2 Kodak cameras hanging out the side.
Yeah. Yeah. But it does worry me that someone like you can walk around with them on your head and essentially go around unnoticed.
Yeah, I've got plans for the subway with them. I'm just going to put them down in the seat beside me.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. As I said, the amount of fucking disgusting uses that they're going to be put to is overwhelming. But getting back to the land of FPL.
Yes.
I want to talk about Diaby for Villa. What do you think the situation is with him right now? Have you any thoughts? He was a sought after asset.
He was in my plans.
Yeah.
He was in my plans. Tell me, has he been reduced minutes or what? Or
not particularly. Not particularly.
Well, I mean, he's not on my radar anymore. So if he's not on my radar, he shouldn't be on anyone's. Do you know what I mean, sir?
Yeah, no.
Watkins and Cash, that's your guys.
Cash hasn't fucking done shit, I don't think, since I brought him in.
Yeah, well, that's why I benched him, but he'll come all right.
It's a good decision.
Okay.
It was one of the things I saw in your team, and I went, you know what, the double Newcastle defence, it was a good shout.
Yeah, it was ballsy, wasn't it?
I wouldn't say
Maverick.
ballsy or maverick. No,
Maverick.
I would just say a good decision, which is a rarity in its own way.
No, I would say it was a ballsy Maverick. To put eggs all in the one basket, like that.
Even though you've just talked about not doing it with Spurs.
Yeah, but that's why it was ballsy and Maverick, because I did it.
No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
I'm dangerous.
Come here to me. Tell me, what are your thoughts on Haaland and people? Not what you're going to do, because I know what you're going to do, but people that are now still considering jumping off Haaland in Game Week 10, because it's a big week for wildcarders. Like anyone who didn't do it,
Bloody madness.
It's an act of madness, is it?
Well, do you know? I'll tell you what isn't mad though. The numbers between Haaland and Alvarez compared to the price. Haaland isn't, he isn't pushing on. He's not doing enough for his price point at the moment. Whereas for a heap load of fucking money cheaper, you have Alvarez, who's actually is he keeping pace with Haaland?
Yeah, I'd say there's not much between them. I mean, he's having a great start to the season and stuff. Yeah. But I don't think the question is. I mean, I suppose it is definitely a part of the question, but like, is necessarily can you replace Haaland with Alvarez? It's more like if you didn't do it in 8 when City kind of fixtures were that little bit, when there was better captaincy options, is it still an option to do? And I guess that does like play into the Alvarez a little bit, because he is an option there. But like, assuming you had Alvarez or something where you didn't need to worry about getting him in.
Yeah, I've got rid of him now and I've kept Haaland. But I mean, no, I just think I know there's managers that have done it, and it's going okay for them so far because Salah is, he's winning that race.
He's getting penalties.
But he's getting penalties. Yeah, I've seen somewhere that his XG without penalties is abysmal. But anyway, who gives a fuck? We don't care about XG in this pod.
Hell no. Well,
fuck that. But I mean, the thing is, I can't get rid of Haaland. Nobody can. He's 86.2% ownership. So it means basically, like, if he gets 7 points and you don't have him, you've lost 14 points.
Yeah, I'll play devil's advocate.
Oh, here we go.
I think
gaslighting.
No, I'm not gaslighting. It's just, again, there's it's not all about you. There's people listening, and like, if you look at their fixtures, obviously away to United, I don't think it's going to be all that tough for him. But for argument's sake, it is a derby, So away to United, then they have a lovely home against Bournemouth in Game Week 11, lovely home fixture. Then away to Chelsea, at home to Liverpool, at home to Spurs, and away to Villa.
Wow,
that's not great.
That isn't great, no. But then, is there a thing that you might have heard called fixture proof?
Yeah, I have, and I think I'd probably agree with you to a certain extent. I do think, like, I mean,
if it was any other player,
yeah,
we're looking at that fixture run and we're getting scared and we're thinking, I mean, there's not a lot of points there, but I can see Haaland coming out of that run, and that's another good reason to keep him. If there's people looking at that run and thinking that they're justifying getting rid of him for that, thinking that he's not going to do it here or there, he will do it, and he can score in all of those games.
Yeah, I agree with you. What I will say, just to again continue the other side of that argument, is that the way the season has been going so far, in terms of like the quality of a lot of teams, like there's about 8 or 9 teams there, 7 or 8 teams there doing, having a really good strong start to the season and look like they could beat, hammer the other half of the table. That means that being able to use his money that you would, obviously save by downgrading them, that you can, like, there are just a shit ton of options doing well. Do you know what I mean? So,
yes,
like, there is it's quite obvious that there is an option there if you wanted to try and spread those funds out. It's fair to say you could cover it.
Like what I've done with not having Salah, in a sense that I've decided to bring in like Diaz and Nunes to Højlund.
Yeah,
I mean, there totally is. Like, when you take out Haaland, you could bring in Salah and still have money left over to have a really strong team, to probably have Trippier.
Yeah, but it's an interesting way of looking at it. I think I've skipped over to Salah and Haaland debate in my head, and I wasn't thinking about the fact that he's eaten up a very similar chunk of your budget. So I suppose that's the question to ask yourself as well, But again, Salah just hasn't fucking let you down this season at all, So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting this week when we talk to.
I'll be holding them anyway.
Yeah, and I will be
because I think, I mean, to go really maverick, and there will be managers out there that are going to love this. Like us having them and looking at that, it doesn't look great. But at the same time, we know we can score in any game. The managers that have went without Haaland will be looking at that, and they'll be thinking to themselves, well, we know he can score in any game too, but at least we've got something we can rub our hands at a few of those games and be like, well, oh, fuck, he mightn't get anything. It'll be late into games maybe, and he hasn't done anything, but we know he can pop up any minute. So they will be happy looking at that, but at the back of their minds, they'll know he can pop up. But they'll be happy looking at that fixture run as well.
So what you're saying is like the ones without Haaland will probably be a little bit more, a little less apprehensive than the ones who've kept Haaland. Over the next couple of fixtures. I think that's fair. I'd probably agree with that myself. But yeah, look, it's enough of the game week 9 talking points. I was going to move straight over to game week 10, but no. Before we do that, we've got the very important matter of the FPL Hangover Mini-League.
Oh, yes. It was a very exciting... We've already announced the manager of the month in the last pod, didn't we?
Did.
Yeah, okay. So
congratulations again to
Gavin. Yeah, so anyway, here we go. We're going straight into it. We'll go with the top 10 first because, you like that, don't you?
I do.
And it's Donal O'Regan. Donal from down the country is top. He's actually come from second. He's moved into the top, so new league leader. Well done, Donal.
Big news.
Big news. Donal has knocked Clatour off the top spot. Clatour's in second. Peter Scullion in third. Glenn Judkins in fourth. Attar Basri in fifth. Aaron Beattie in sixth. James Walsh in seventh. Nick Scott in eighth. And Tom Woodley in ninth. And Belgian Brudda in 10th. I'd just like to tell everyone who's listening that Donal is top of our league, and he is... live points overall are 635 points, which is fucking phenomenal, and he is 3.2k in the world.
Yeah.
So massive season there, Donal. I hope you start falling below me. And anyway,
that's a long way to fall, pal.
Yeah, fuck you. Manager of the week goes to Peter Scullion. I swear to God, I feel like I say that man's name every fucking week.
I looked at this before we started recording, and I knew you were going to have that reaction when you realised it. Yeah. But look at the team, man. Talk about the team. Go for it.
Oh my God. He's got 115 points this week. Now, I don't have his team in front of me, Ger, because I'm looking at the statistics. But if you do you have his team there?
I have. And for any of the managers out there feeling a little bit like jealous and going, 115 points, blah, blah, blah. It is worth mentioning, Peter, and I have to do this. You did completely spunk your bench boost. So
did he bench boost?
He did.
This week?
Now, he had a phenomenal week, regardless of his bench boost, which is what's insane. So when you look at his bench boost this week, it's what kind of knocks it out of the early hundreds into the 115 bracket. He gets his 6 points for Simicast, solid 6 points.
Oh, yeah.
And then 1 pointers all around for Areola, Gibbs White, and Gabriel.
So it's a bench boost fail.
It is a bench boost fail, but also an amazing week. So it's a weird juxtaposition there this week. 9 points on the bench, which I would consider a fail, but 100 and fucking whatever. 6
yeah,
points.
because he does. You see, because he did so well anyway. The 9 points. Or just, he could have, that bench boost might have boosted him up in a week where he needed it more. Yeah,
he broke the ton, regardless of it. Like, I'd be giving him even more stuff. I'd be giving him even more shit if he had used his bench boost and didn't break the ton and it flopped. But it's like he broke the ton regardless. So,
but he broke the ton anyway. Yeah. So anyway, well done, Peter. Shout bench boost though. Biggest rise in the league. Wow. This is Johnny Armstrong, who rose up 58 places.
Oof.
So
that's a massive leap.
That is absolutely huge. Let's just see. So he is now sitting in 45th place in the league. So well done, lad. And the biggest drop in the league this week is Trevor Parks, who dropped 35 places and is now sitting in 41st place. Those drops, man, huh? We'll move on over now to Transfer Genius. Or no, you know what? Did we do the Walk of Shame?
Nope.
No, we give Peter Scullion his perks, and also we have to give it to, oh my God, Trevor Parks. That's why he's dropped so many places. It all makes sense. He got 53 points this week. So, yeah. Transfer Genius, one of my favorite parts of the whole thing. And this goes to Aaron Beattie. So Aaron Beattie made 3 transfers. He took a -4, obviously. And he netted himself 12 points. He got rid of Saka for Salah, Sterling to Gordon, and he did Walker to Evans. So well done, Aaron Beattie there. Special mention will go to Trevor Parks, who actually made 2 transfers and netted himself 11 points. Bell to Trippier and Szoboszlai to Neto. Sack the Scout. Let's see who the worst transfer was. I thought it would be more exciting. It's not. It's just Thanier PN. He made 1 transfer, cost himself -4. Richarlison to Diaby.
So he made 2 transfers if he cost himself -4, or is it just he lost 4 points?
No, that's he lost. He lost.
That's a weirdly low score.
Yeah, I thought like in the whole league there might be something more exciting, but
I guess as I said, everyone fucking delivered this week, except the shit players.
Right, let's see bench wanker. Is there anything? Right, yeah, Johnny Armstrong, bench wanker, 14 points on his bench. Tom Woodley, 11 points on his bench, and of course, lots of 9s. Then too many to read out. But that is our league updates, Ger.
Thank you very much, Patrick. If anyone's interested in joining, you've got T-4 something days left. The mini-league code is HUP8K9. It's HUP8K9. It's in the description. You've got a couple of days. We're going to close it on the deadline for game week 10. And and people will be locked in. As I said, this week's manager of the month. You just don't want any snakes, just slithering their way in, just because they know they're having a good season towards the end of it. I've seen that happen, and it's absolutely sickening.
I've done that.
Well, I blame the league admins for not closing their fucking league. Simple as that. But HUP8K9, that's the mini-league code. Thanks again for that, Paddy.
And remember, the mini-league is sponsored by Kinniger Brewing, and every manager of the month wins a bit of swag and beers. And if you don't drink beers, we'll just get you extra swag. So make sure to join the league before it closes, and our manager of the month will get a little prize.
Thank you for reminding me. I got so caught up in snakes trying to join mini leagues late, I forgot about the sponsor. But you're spot on.
That's what I'm here for.
That's what you're there for. All right, before we wrap things up, and we're both dying to get in front of the TV for the Champions League United match. I don't know how long we'll be able to say that for, but we can for now. We've got the final topic, and that is Game Week 10 captaincy.
Yes, this is an easy one for me. I'm just going to stick it on Watkins.
What? This is an easy one for me.
Yeah.
Oh yes, because you don't have Salah.
Yes, I don't have Salah.
Yes. Okay.
Do you have Watkins?
Of course, I have Watkins. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then why not Watkins?
Oh well, again, I was just caught in the hop because I was not expecting you to say Watkins. This is obviously Watkins. I think Watkins is in contention.
Okay.
He's my vice captain, even though Hindu Monkey has reminded me that means jack shit. But in my brain, it's a digital record of my thought process for that game week, and I have the armband on Salah. I think he's the I would say the obvious one this week. Watkins, though, yeah, there's the argument. It's home to Luton. Jesus, I'd have no issue with you having the armband on Watkins, regardless of whether or not Salah was in your team.
Yeah, I think it's a good captaincy shout.
It's a great captaincy shout. I mean, Villa have been absolutely fantastic for the last couple of weeks, and have to be fair, on a bigger scale, they've been fantastic for ages. And they're at home to a team that concedes goals pretty easily. Simple as that. They just do, you know? I don't want to say they're just... I feel like I'm just shitting on everyone tonight. I didn't even bring Luton up when you were asking me about Sheffield United. But I do think Luton are right up there with Sheffield United for teams to target. And, Villa at home to Luton. What do you think the score's going to be?
Oh, 5-0, 6-0. Something like that.
Yeah, I'm glad you went really realistic, actually. Yeah. 6-0 to Villa.
So
classic.
All everything to Watkins, all goals and assists.
Goals and assists, yeah. No, I think he's a great shout. I think there's actually it's one of those weeks where you have obviously your forerunners. I think for home fixtures are going to be Salah and Watkins, and Saka,
and Haaland.
Well, that's an away fixture, but you've got Salah, Watkins and Saka all with 3 ridiculously juicy fixtures at home. Home to Forest for Salah, home to Sheffield United for Saka, and home to Luton for Watkins. I mean, I think we're going to get a good spread this week because, as you just mentioned, you've got the big fucking Nordic meat shield just looming over everyone on his trip to Old Trafford. And, he loves beating United. You saw it
he does.
Last season at the Etihad. He loves it.
He does. And you know what's going to happen.
I think City will win. Yeah, I think they'll win probably pretty easily. But I would hope it's not a rout. Do you know kind of way?
You know what's going to happen, right? You know those players that forget to do their teams and a couple of dead players. Now, more so I'm speaking about the guys who... Are
you about to say the C word?
The casuals who forget to do their teams and the captaincy's already on Haaland. And we're all moving the captaincy to Salah's, to Watkins, to maybe a Son or a Saka's or whatever. And then Haaland just goes off in one. And then we're all like that. We're like, why do we bother play this fucking game?
Because those people that do that don't matter. At the end of the day, come game week 38,
they're not having fun.
Well, it doesn't matter if they're having fun or not because they're not playing the game properly. In the sense, if they're having fun, fine, do what you want, come back every couple of weeks. But at the end of the day, in terms of rank and affecting your mini league positions, whatever way you want to look at it, those guys won't be anywhere near the top. Cream always rises,
exactly.
And
cream always rises to the top.
Yeah, and I hold no ill will against them because they're just another set of bones that I'm going to stand on.
I love it, Ger. I love it. It's just brutal. Ger, right, just here now before for my team, and maybe the listeners might be in the same predicament. I think I went to double Newcastle last week. I don't think I'll be going it this week. I think Burn will be dropped to my bench, and I will be starting Cash this week, along with Areola.
Oh, you're brave boy. You're starting Cash at home to Luton.
Yeah.
Very good.
And Areola, of course, will be starting. Just looking there. Yeah, I think I'm pretty set.
Especially if you're turning Almiron into Martinelli.
Martinelli, yeah.
I mean, that's going to be a pretty powerful team. I have 2 free transfers, and I actually don't know what to do with because I'm obviously never in a million years going to burn one. So I'm torn because it means I kind of have to make my mind up on what I want to do. In regards to if I'm playing it the way that's in my head right now, it's Udogie out for Tsimikas, which we didn't really touch on in the talking points, but
no, we didn't at all, and that's a big one.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that big
one. Robertson's out. Do you know what? Udogie was fucking flying for Spurs before he was taken off up the wings, doing everything right.
Exactly.
Tsimikas is fucking just going into a shit Liverpool defense.
See, I just don't buy that. I mean, yes, it's not a great defense, but he's only 4.5 million. I mean, you can't honestly say that he's not worth that,
So how much is Udogie?
4.8.
So there you go. He's breaking the bank.
I guess.
So what do you want, the 3 extra million for something?
I guess I was using the 4.5 million in terms of just the general defense of Tsimikas. But if you were to,
you just like a bargain.
I do. I love a bargain, but I also like Liverpool's fixtures. Do you know what I mean? It's not just that it's a bargain. I'm just if you look at Liverpool's upcoming fixtures, home to Forest, away to Luton, home to Brentford, obviously toughy away to City, but then home to Fulham, away to Sheffield United, away to Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, Sheffield United, Fulham, Brentford, Luton and Forest in the next 8 or 9.
Yeah, it's tasty. It's tasty. I hope my Luis Diaz covers me going through that.
But just in terms of Tsimikas, the reason I would do it is to just save a bit of cash, and that's because I would I'm kind of on the edge of thinking that the likes of Ward-Prowse wasn't the greatest idea. I mean, to be fair, they're only sitting there to kind of maybe leave space for attacking Brighton, which again is another team with, we've mentioned the fixture kind of turn. We talked about Arsenal. You've talked about a lot of teams' fixtures, but Brighton also are just hitting a beautiful run, Paddy. So I don't know if you know it, but Brighton's next 4 fixtures, 4 in a row: Fulham, Everton, Sheffield United, Forest.
God, I love this fantasy game. I mean, it's just so tough because, we're sitting here talking about trying to get rid of one of these Spurs guys for an Arsenal player. Like, well, we need to get Matoma back. We need to get a bit of fucking, Arsenal spice in there.
That's the thing.
So, there's so much. There's gonna be so many waves and bumps for the managers in the next few weeks. People who are like mid-table will be jumping to the top, and people who are top will be going to the bottom. There's so much to happen.
Yeah, there is, and I guess that's I am expecting a bit of a transitional period. Not transitional period.
Like I'll be going ahead of you this week.
Well, no, probably not. You probably won't pass me out again for the rest of the season.
Are you ahead of me by much?
I don't know. I don't look back. I don't look
back. And then he said the other one that went under the radar for the rest of the season. You think I missed that?
Yeah, well, you won't. You won't pass me out for the rest of the season. I
actually continue on my sentence, and I just wanted to smash the fucking screen. But anyway, we'll see, Ger. We'll see. So anyway, Udogie's to Tsimikas, maybe your move. Are you going to use your other transfer, or are you going to save it for the following week?
I'd see. Yeah, I mean, I'm just chatting to you now. I'm kind of on the edge of like, I think I just had a moment of clarity, genuinely, when I was talking there and we were talking about Matoma and Arsenal.
Tell me that.
Yeah, I was just like, maybe I should just stop being such a little fucking bitch about it. Go to
stop being a little bitch in general, just.
Well, I can't. Let's not offer life advice, but I could just go straight from Destiny to Gabriel, and then go from Ward-Prowse to Matoma.
There you go.
But
it's all sorted.
I could do that.
You'll never do any of those
I'm never going to do that. I could have ended up going Tsimikas for fucking Destiny, and then holding on to Ward-Prowse. I don't think I can get rid of him. Everyone's talking this week, Paddy, about how shit he is because he's playing deeper, and like they're not wrong in the sense of he did play deeper. But I mean, I was watching that match, that West Ham match, and there's just so much hope when you have a player like Ward-Prowse because he's over everything, and like even their best chance was him putting Paqueta through. It was Ward-Prowse chipping the ball over the defense and Paqueta missing his arseways bicycle kick or something. So I'm like, home to Everton. I think I gotta give him one more week. I think.
Maybe So are you? It doesn't worry you that he likes to go deep.
That he likes. Absolutely stumped me there. I was like, what? No, it's just that.
Of course it doesn't.
Of course it doesn't. I mean, more power to him. It's not that it doesn't. It's just that I didn't really expect him to be this massive attacking asset when I brought him in. I was just under a massive tool to use in my arsenal, and I was fully aware that he's a, what would you say, like consistently tipping along kind of player, and not even to the degree that you'd call him a postman thing. It's just that he's constantly on set pieces. He's over everything. So West Ham, if they are to put the ball in the back of the net from a fucking corner at some stage, it's going to be him. Simple as that.
And you've got him 2 weeks now, have you?
I wildcarded him in, yeah.
So what has he got you so far? Just out of curiosity.
I think 2 blanks.
Oh, brilliant. Keep going. So anyway, but as we round this up, there's plenty of captaincy options. You like obviously Salah's the main one. If you got Salah, if you don't have Salah, probably like Watkins looks juicy. And if you want to go Haaland, I'm
so glad Salah got all those points because I was captain in Haaland, and I'm just like, oh no. Do you know what? It means I can. Well, you're the same. You're captain in Watkins, but it means we can both, as United fans, enjoy that match without, even though we'd probably be in tears, but you won't want anything out of your FPL nets. Like I remember captain.
I have Højlund. I'll be like back in Højlund. I'll be like, let's go Højlund.
Yeah, unless you get one of those infamous team leaks and decide to just transfer out of your team.
That would be happening. So I think we've covered everything there, Ger, have we?
We have. We're about to wrap it up. It's 20-8, man.
Before we do, let's play in and out.
All right.
Right. Here we go. So, who's
that
the top 5?
Filthy name for that game.
Yeah, I know. I like it. What? What's the most for transfers out this week?
Transfers out.
Yeah.
It'd be so easy to notice. Transfers out. Who's dropping in price? I would guess. Oh, maybe.
This is fucking crazy.
I was going to say Haaland.
Yeah, Haaland's in the top 5 most transfers out this week. Holy fuck.
Where is he in the top 5?
He's 4th. 142,000 managers have transferred him out.
Hit the button. I would guess then that I was going to say Rashford, but I don't think.
Yeah, Rashford's out as well. He's second.
Bruno,
most
obviously.
Bruno. The 178,000 transfers. Bruno Fernandes is 5th. This is the best he's ever done.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
it is.
5th, 4th, and 3. Who? Fuck. Now
you've got 2 to get.
Oh, Batman? No. Yeah, Batman.
Yeah, Batman's in. Yeah, he's 3rd, and you've got 1 more to get for
the pressure. The pressure.
Who is it going to be?
Oh.
Wooly. You better not be cheating.
I'm not. I swear to God, I'm not.
Okay. Last. Let's go.
Oh, I'm not going to get this. The last.
Under 47,000 managers have transferred.
Is he the most transferred out?
Of their team. He is the most, the number 1.
Oh, that's easy. That should be the easiest one.
And if you don't get this, it resets your score to 0 as your best ever.
Oh no. I've already used all my
5, 4. Do you want to phone a friend?
Saka.
No, it's stupid.
Fuck!
There we go. Right, anyway, quick top transfers in. Let's go. Who are they? This is easy.
Salah.
Ish. Yeah.
Trippier.
Salah's 2nd. Trippier's 5th. Watkins is 1st.
Salah, Trippier, Watkins.
You should get 1 more.
Okay. Who's just been doing really fucking well? Oh, he's not in the top 5. Well, Son?
No, that's game over. Douglas Luiz in 3rd and Saka in 4th.
I picked Saka for transfers out. Oh, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, there you go. Ins and outs.
Ins and outs. Thanks, Paddy. God damn it. I'm never going to get 5 and 5. All right, so let's wrap it up there. Paddy, we did the leagues, we did the things, we did the usual chatting. It's been a pleasure. Where can everyone find you?
You can get me at FPL Viking _ on Twitter, and you can get me on the Instagram at the Viking Dippers.
Excellent.
Where can we get you in the pod?
You can get me and the pod on Twitter at FPL Hangover or X, whatever you want to call it. FPLhangover@gmail.com for business inquiries. The mini-league description is in the mini-league code is in the description below. I would like to again thank Kinniger for sponsoring our mini-league this year, and Premier Fantasy Tools, which is, if anyone's been watching on YouTube, it's been where I've been getting all the fixture tickers all night. So big shout out to those guys, and definitely worth your support or going over and checking them out at the very least. Good little tool to use. But speaking of tools, Paddy, would you like to say good luck to everyone?
Good luck and God bless.
Just stealing my fucking sign off now, is that it?
Yeah, I am, man.
You've gone from ruining it every week to just flat out stealing it now.
I know. I've just totally fucking stole it. Go for
it. Enjoy Game Week 10, and most importantly,
God bless.
God bless.